Today we are rejoined. Is it rejoined for the third time? Fourth
I think it's
time?
the third time.
Yeah.
Third time.
Our good buddy Frank Meyer is with us today. Frank just came off a tour with Handsome Dick Manitoba from the Dictators. He's been out with Fear. He's on the latest Fear record called The Last Time. And by the time you watch and listen to this episode, his first solo album ever will be out. It's called Living Between the Lines. So we caught up with Frank today to talk about his solo album, the album that he did with Fear. And as always, Frank's just kind of got his fingers in multiple pies. So we covered a few other things as well. But mainly we wanted to talk about his solo record and the honor that it's been for him to appear on a Fear record. He's got deep history with Fear as a kid who grew up in California. So it was an exciting experience for him, as you can imagine. So always great to talk to him, right? What a blast. Great energy.
Pretty wild that he has found his way without an audition, just basically getting the call. Like he's standing on a rug and he's reaching for the vending machine and like Lee Ving and Handsome Dick Manitoba or what have you is pulling the rug towards, he's like, hey, I wanted to get a sandwich. You know, what's going on? Oh my God, Lee Ving and Handsome Dick Man. He's found his way without trying into these legendary legacy type gigs. And I mean, collaborating with, at least I know that we talked about he was, probably going to possibly write songs. I mean, who knows about a future Fear record with some of his writing, but he's definitely in Fear, and have to pinch myself that just a dude that we know. I mean, it shouldn't be any surprise once you know anything about Frank Meyer.
For sure. Yeah.
Just Google him. Just look him up, and it's too long. And, a lot of his bands are not, he doesn't have any gold and platinum records, and he's a punk rock kid who's also a filmmaker and an author. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
He's a rainbow of color, and you just can't tame him. And high energy. There's just not enough hours in the day. True. And I feel like, for Frank, he gets up at Q and goes to bed at 8.7. I mean, he doesn't sleep, I don't think. So it does. Yeah. It's weird. It's really weird because I can't keep up with him. You try.
I try. Yeah.
You try to. I don't even try. I'm just being straight up, but I'm telling you, every time I've either been on the Zoom call, in the podcast, whatever, or in the room with him, I can't. It's hard to just not have a good time talking about rock and roll with that guy.
Well, a lot, and he made this point during the conversation. A lot of people could say the same thing about you. It's like, we can't keep up with all of your bands either. So you guys are kindred spirits in that regard. Your musical creativity is just constantly churning, and it doesn't always necessarily fit metal, and it's not always necessarily rock. So when there's some, when you need an outlet for this type of thing or that type of thing, you create it, or you find someone else who's doing it, and all of a sudden you're in a partnership with this other band or musician or whatever. You're going on tour. And Frank's got the whole, as you said, filmmaker, author thing.
I don't see how he does that. I don't see how he has time to put pen to paper.
I don't know how he does it either. And it's like you said, he just must never sleep. But I'm so proud of him and so happy for him. I know playing in Fear has got to be just a dream come true for a guy who grew up on California punk. He's a native California kid, and I'm happy that he's got a solo record out. And Van Halen. Man, don't get him started on Van Halen. He'll go all day. Yeah. We can do a whole podcast on Frank Meyer's love of Van Halen.
Well, he likes all the good classic shit. And kind of in a way, when you hear him, well, for example, this episode, you don't really hear him talk about, he didn't mention Kiss one time. He did mention Cheap Trick. But you know what I'm trying to say. I think he's well versed in a lot of styles that are because he's a little bit younger than we are, so it's, I think that he was born at a really good time to catch all of that, but also know its placement in the form of art, whether it be creating, writing, film, stories, lyrics, rock songs, whatever. I think he's always challenging himself to create something, but I think that he's an old soul as well, but he's high energy like a young punk.
Yeah, yeah. And and we're talking about fear today, but and we didn't spend a lot of time on all of his background, but he's done time with James Williamson, Wayne Kramer, Eddie Spaghetti, Cheetah Chrome. I mean, his punk rock connections are as they get, So credentials out the wazoo.
He's legit.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Absolutely. And he's been a friend of ours for a long time, and we're always happy to have him. He's just a great guest, great guy, great talker. Frank Meyer today on the Talk Louder podcast.